I found a brand new Claude skill that takes any website and creates unlimited landing pages. On-brand copy, visuals completely designed for you and outputted in simple HTML you can use anywhere, all from one prompt for free. Agencies are charging $5,000 to $10,000 for this exact work right now. And most businesses just pay it because they don't know this exists. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the landing page factory step by step, how each of the 7 stages work, what Claude and Firecrawl are doing at each step, and how you can run the whole thing yourself. So you can build landing pages for yourself or for your clients at zero cost. Deliver a service that costs you nothing to produce, and do in one prompt what used to take a designer and a copywriter days, even if you've never touched code in your life. The whole repo is free and links to all resources down below. And if you don't know who I am, my name is Jimmy Barkway. I run an AI startup. So if you haven't already, grab that cup of tea and let's dive straight in. So this all started when this Twitter post went viral lately. You can make unlimited landing pages with Claude for $0. So here's a system that turns one URL into a landing page for every possible angle. It scrapes your brand DNA using Firecrawl, scrapes your site, has a look at the trust signals, color schemes, fonts, and it pulls every proof element and visual system in under 2 minutes. Nothing hallucinated. It's not AI slop. Everything traced back to your actual site. Let's take a look at how this works. If you're a marketing agency, you've got 50 to 100 ad variants and all going to one generic page. This is the mistake most agencies are making. It's a bottleneck in paid media that isn't the ads, it's in the landing pages, the lack of different creatives to test all these new angles. So what this process does is it scrapes all the claims, the proof, all that data from your website or your client's website, and then it writes the conversion copy. And we're going to use a direct response copy skill that I'll share with you during this video as well to write killer copy and kill all the fluff and the AI slop in them. And then I've also got an anti-AI trope skill as well, which eliminates any AI sounding copy for your website. And then we're going to ship all of this and I'll show you how to get that live on Vercel without actually having to touch anything. 7-stage pipeline. It starts by extracting the claims and the trust signals and call to actions from your website. And then it has a look at the page strategy. What is your brand profile? How does your website speak in its page copy? Any visuals on there as well. And then it builds out the page in a single HTML file. No slop and no fake proof involved. Thanks to our anti-AI trope skill, there won't be any words like you're seeing on screen, any purple gradients, any generic AI slop style websites. We'll be using real proof with trust cues above the fold, one dominant idea per section, and the copy will be cut 20% after the first draft for brevity, keeping it straightforward. So before, marketers would be creating 2 to 3 pages, call it a day, because that took an awful lot of time. But now you can create 60 plus landing pages in no time. It's responsive out of the box, real brand colors from yours or your client's website. And we're going to get Claude to get this on Vercel for us without us having to do anything. And that'll be done through MCP. It stands for Model Context Protocol. And it basically just means we're giving your AI hands so that they can do things outside of the Claude desktop app. You can run it through Claude Code. If you have an open clause set up, then you can run it through that quite easily too, or any agent framework like Hermes, Cursor, etc. We're going to be doing it through Claude Code today. So we can use Claude's Opus 4.6 through a Pro or a Max plan. This will work on either. Now there'll be a link down below, which takes you to this page in my school community. If you just come into the classroom and then you can scroll down to the bottom and you've got the AI automation vault just here. You can just open that up. And I've got complete walkthroughs down here where you can access your Notion page. And from here, this is what we're going to be working off because you've got everything you need on this page right here. And we can start just by copying this URL. And then we're going to come over to Claude Desktop. Now, once you're in here, you can open up a new session with this button in the top left. And then you can go ahead and select a local folder right here, which you'll be working from. And this will be the folder where it's going to create all of your files. And this is where your website can live in your local computer. Now, there's a few options down here. One is you can ask permissions or to accept edits. I wouldn't worry about those too much. And what I'm using is plan modes. Now, this forces Claude to really think about how it's going to structure everything. And it stops it from just going in and writing code without putting any real plan in place. So we can just paste in our link and that we copied just now. Hey, Claude, I want to build a landing page for my website, run the full landing page factory pipeline, extract the brand DNA using Firecrawl, map the strategy, build a brand profile, and write the conversion copy with the slot ban enforced. Generate on-brand visuals, build a responsive HTML page, and run QA at the end. Give me the full package. And before we send it off, there's a couple more things that I want to grab before we send this. And the first is the direct response copy skill. Now, this is an AI skill file. It turns any AI into a direct response copywriter trained on the frameworks of Schwartz, Hopkins, Ogilvy, Halbert, Capel, Sugarman, and Collier. Instead of getting generic AI copy, you get internet native writing that sounds like a smart friend explaining something while quietly deploying every persuasion principle in the book. And you just copy the URL for this page, which you'll find in my school. And then another link I want you to grab from there is the AI tropes. Now, this is from my GitHub, and I ran some deep research to find out what makes AI writing sound like AI. And then I put together this repo. It's an AI writing framework focused on bypassing robotic cliches to produce authentic human-like writing. And it's really going to help nail avoiding that AI slop. So just copy that. We'll come back over to Claude again and just paste in those links. Hey, Claude, I want you to pay attention to the direct response copy URL from Boring Marketer just there, as well as the AI tropes. This is going to help you to write killer copywriting for our landing pages and avoid any AI sounding slop. Let's go. And then right before we go, I like to select Opus 4.6 with the 1 million context window. Your context window is basically like how much data you can fit into one chat window. And you can also think of it like money spent. So the more of your context window that is taken up, the more money you're spending, or the more of your usage that you're spending with Claude Code. So I'm going to select Opus 4.6, which is the best coding model out there right now, and effort to high. That should be enough for this project. But if you really want to burn some tokens, then go ahead and select max, but I don't think it'll be necessary for this. And then send it off. Do I trust this workspace? Yes, I do. You just hit trust workspace and then send it off to do its thing. So because we put it in plan mode, it's making a point of going through all the URLs and taking its time in reading everything, making sure it's got all the information needed before proceeding with this. Now, if you forgot to add in your website like I did, then you could just go ahead and copy your website URL while it's still working. Then come over to your website, this is mine, and just copy the URL and put it back into Claude and say, this is the website that we're building landing pages for. Hey, Claude, this is the website we want to be building landing pages for. Use the Firecrawl CLI to extract all of the brand and images and everything you need from my website. Now, it's going to ask me some questions just to make sure that it gets exactly what we're looking for. This is very much a good thing. The URL in your message is literally .com, a placeholder. What's the actual client site I should Firecrawl and build the landing page for? So I'm just going to paste in my website there. How should I handle the visual stage? I don't have Bloom or Nano Banana image gen wired up in this session, so I need a fallback strategy. Now, for this, we can actually come over to Bloom AI. The link for that will be down below as well. And this allows you to create on-brand images for your website. Now, this itself isn't free. I will show you a free method as well, but this is a great way to, if you come over to their pricing, they do have a $5 trial. So if you pay $5, then you can get a certain amount of images, and that'll be more than enough for this project, as well as a few more on top of that. And for this, you can just get your API key right here, create an API key. And once you do, you just copy that, and you can just copy that and bring it back over to Claude and say, this is my Bloom API key. You can use that. Hey, Claude, this is my Bloom AI API key. Please go ahead and use that. Now, if you want the free method, then Google's Nano Banana 2 has a free tier, and I'll show you how to get to that as well. So you can just come to Google AI Studio, link for that again down below, and then just hit Get API Key bottom left right here, and you can create a new API key, call it whatever you like, and then you can just hit the copy button right here, and it will copy your API key, and you can just paste that in there instead, and say something like, hey Claude, here's my Nano Banana Pro 2 API key. Please use that to generate on-brand images instead. Okay, now it's got a plan put together. They ask, build a conversion-focused landing page for jimmybarkway.com by running the full landing page factory pipeline end-to-end. Jimmy runs a paid school community teaching vibe coding, AI-assisted app building to non-technical founders. His current homepage is a basic personal site with one testimonial. Ouch. And a start building call to action. The goal is a purpose-built conversion page that leads with the core transformation, uses only real provenance claims, sounds like Jimmy, ships as a single deployable HTML file. And you can go through and look at the entire plan it's put together. And once you're happy, you can just go ahead and approve Claude's plan, or you can hit the edit button just here and make any changes that you want or need to. Or there's also an option down here to just tell Claude what you want to do instead. I'm happy with this, so let's go. Now it's opened up a browser within Claude Desktop, but as of right now, I find this doesn't work nearly as well as it does if you open it up in the actual Brave browser, or Chrome browser, whatever browser you're using. So I'm just going to close this out. There we go. Yeah, I'll use the Chrome MCP with Brave for the QA preview instead of the built-in preview tool. So it's already got a Chrome MCP built in to use your browser for you. Now, you can already imagine the possibilities for automating your computer, automating your browser use. And I've done a whole video on this. So check out somewhere on screen right now to have a look at how to use Claude Cowork to automate your browser use for any website you can think of. Ton of great use cases in that video. Check it out. Now you can see it's updating its to-dos. So it gives itself its own to-do list. It's already extracted the branding from my website via Firecrawl. Now, if you don't know what Firecrawl is, there will be a link to it down below. And it's basically the number one best scraper that I have ever come across. And you can use it to scrape web pages. You can use it to extract branding from websites, extract images. Ton of use cases for it. And if you haven't set that up in Claude yet, just say, hey, Claude, here's my API key for Firecrawl. I want you to use the Firecrawl CLI to scrape a website, extract branding, whatever you want to do. Now let's see how Claude's getting on. Great, so it's writing a strategy and it'll start building out our brand profile. Stages 2 and 3 done. Now stage 4, the copy itself, and it's using that copywriting gist from the boring marketer that we looked at earlier. What it's doing now is looking up the Bloom AI API documentation, and I've not had to ask it to do this at all. Claude Opus is smart enough to go out and find these, and it's automatically using the API without me needing to do anything. Okay, it's built the visuals with the Bloom API. It's done the conversion copy, the brand profile, and it looks like it's working on something. And it's going to use the built-in browser to run some tests to make sure everything looks okay. It's gone ahead and verified the numbers. Every number in the copy traces back to a provenance source, and now it's testing the mobile viewport. Again, all of this just from one prompt. We just one-shotted this entire thing. Isn't that insane? Okay. First run's finished, all 8 stages complete. Here's the package, landing page factory, Jimmy Barkway build complete. And it's delivered this all into an index.html file, single file responsive landing page. And it's created a bunch of artifacts such as brand profile, the copywriting, which can be used in other websites if you want to match the brand of this. 0 banned words because of the AI trope skill that we plugged into this. It's written something that is free of AI slop. Let's go and take a look and see what we've built. Okay, here we are. Describe it. AI builds it, ships something real. And it's created some image assets from Bloom AI as well. Start building. Watch me on YouTube. It's got some stats that it's pulled from my actual website. You've had the idea for months, you still haven't shipped. So it's using direct response copywriting and that S-tier persuasion. You know what you want to build. You can see it in your head, a tool, an app, a thing that would save you hours or make you money or just exist because nothing like it does yet. And then you open Cursor, stare at a blank project and close the tab. Not because the idea is bad, because the gap between I can describe this in 2 sentences and I have working software on the internet is miles wide when you've never written code. Every tutorial assumes you know what a terminal is, Every course is aimed at people who already ship. You don't need theory. You need the exact loop that takes your sentence and turns it into a deployed app. That loop is what vibe coding is. This is very good, very persuasive. And it looks great. Now, think about how easy it is to pump out 50 to 100 of these different landing pages. If I went back to Claude right now and said, create 50 different variations, and we could do that so easily. AI changed who gets to build software. If you can describe it, you can build it. The tools are absurdly good now. Agents make your apps actually useful. And it's even put in my testimonial there as well. Now, there's an image here that isn't showing properly, but that's okay. We can just go back to Claude and say, fix this for me. Now, the best thing I would do here is take a screenshot of this, and then anything that you want to be changed. There's a nice FAQ down here as well. Your first shipped app in one plain English sentence away. Start building. So it's conversion rate optimized. And now we've got a landing page. We just need to be able to get this live on the internet. Now, the easiest way to do that is by committing to GitHub and then deploying it live on Vercel, none of which you have to learn anything for. GitHub is basically like your folder structure, but on the internet. So you or anyone else can access it anywhere. It's automatically set to private. So if you want it to just be your private folder structure, then it will do that by default. And then to deploy live on Vercel, we're going to use an MCP. Now, let me show you how that works. Come back over to Claude and then hit this icon on the left, which is customize. And this is where you can add in new skills and connectors. Now, come into connectors, and this is just Claude's way of talking about MCPs. And you can see it's already got a GitHub MCP built in there. I've already got a Notion one on there too. And there's a bunch here that I've used in the past. Now, the one we want is the Vercel MCP. And you can either hit connect right there, or you can go ahead and browse connectors just here. Type in Vercel. And then once you do that, it's going to automatically take you to your browser, where you just need to scroll down and allow. If you don't already have a GitHub account, then it will prompt you to create one. And you can do that with a Google login normally. Okay, once that's done, it will take you back to your Claude, and you can see the Vercel connector has popped up right there. Now, quick tip, what I found is whenever you're adding in a new skill or a new MCP, sometimes it can be a little buggy here and there. Now, the best way to overcome that, and for me, this has worked 100% of the time, is to just close out your Claude and then come back in, reopen it again. Great. And then once you've done that, you can just come back to your chat by hitting the button in the top there, and then just reopen the chat that you were in. And I'm going to paste in that screenshot and say something like this. Hey, Claude, I noticed that one of the images wasn't working on the website. I've taken a screenshot of it for you so you know which one. Analyze this and get that image working for me. Aside from that, the rest of the landing page looks fantastic. I love it. Now, what I want you to do now is to commit this to GitHub in a new GitHub repo. And once that's done, I want you to get that GitHub repo live on Vercel using the Vercel MCP connector. Once that's done, let me know it's done, and then give me the URL that Vercel gives us automatically. Let's go. And let's send that off. Okay, looks like we've fixed that image, and it's verified that in Brave via the Chrome MCP. All 6 images are working properly. We've created a new GitHub repo and deployed live on Vercel without us having to do anything. It's insane. All right, let's check it out. And there we have it, unlimited landing pages without us having to do very much at all. We just one-shotted this prompt, the entire website, all done through Claude. And it's even gone ahead and fixed that image down here for us as well. It's got a nice FAQ and a brilliant call to action down there at the bottom. All of it conversion rate optimized with our copywriting skill that we put in there as well. Now, if you want to create websites with a beautiful parallax scrolling effect using just 1 or 2 prompts, then check out this video right here.